Welcome back to Between Two White Coats, a podcast designed to help you be the healthiest version of yourself. I'm Dr. Michelle Plaster, a family medicine doctor.
And I'm her co-host, Amber Foster, a family nurse practitioner. In our combined 30 years in medicine, we've seen a lot.
We're discussing key issues surrounding health and wellness, answering some of our biggest questions, overcoming health obstacles, and giving patient-centered advice in hopes of educating you and providing the tools you need to live a healthy life.
If you find our podcast helpful, please consider subscribing so you don't miss an episode. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review. This will help other people find our podcast.
Thanks for joining us. We look forward to serving you.
Welcome back to Between Two White Coats. Today we have Jenny Fisher with us. She's a certified nutritionist and certified health coach. And we're going to be talking about NEAT. And we're not talking about being like organized. We're talking about non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And I actually have to read it because it stands for such long words.
Yeah, you were like, let's do NEAT. And I was like, what's NEAT?
What's NEAT? Well, I was telling them I was looking at the beginning of the year for health trends. And so I saw it come up. And when I was reading about it, it was actually an article put out by the Cleveland Clinic. I was like, oh, that's so easy. That's so doable. And I was like, we should do a podcast on that. And this is our third or fourth filming session for this year. And so I even told Shelley today, we need to talk about NEAT. And then when I mentioned it to Jenny, she was like, absolutely, I know, we can talk about it. So we're going to get it from the certified health coach and certified nutritionist. So tell us about NEAT. Tell us how you incorporate NEAT into your health coaching.
Well, NEAT is one of those things, if you think about fitness, I've got 30 to 45 minutes with my clients and we kill it. We're applying all the voluntary stress. We're just trying to get the grind on. That's 30 to 45 minutes out of a 16-hour day after you look at sleep. Right. Why aren't we talking about the other 15 hours? And that is what NEAT is. It's non-exercise activity. And the thermogenesis is the burn, right? So if we can burn, 10 more calories an hour, that's 1,600 calories, and that's a lot, but or 160 calories an hour that we could be burning a little extra. So yeah, it's just adding in a little bit more every day.
So it's just being a little bit more mindful about things that you're doing to incorporate exercise.
That's and right. I think for the people who continuously say, I don't have an hour, I can't join a gym. By the time I've driven to the gym, I've used up all my time. Yeah. This is what you just do through the day to keep your muscles strong, to make your heart a little healthier, to burn a few more calories.
That's right.
And you can just do it during your normal activity. Plus, when you get up and you move around a little bit, it wakes you up. It gets your blood going. It just, you're probably more productive during your workday if you step away from your desk and do some squats or go for a little 10-minute walk on your lunch or just other little simple things.
Yeah. And it's not cramming everything into every nook and cranny of your life. Because I know I've got some women that are wired and tired right now. And they're like, I'm doing all the things. Don't give me one more thing to do. But instead of thinking about one more thing, think about taking the things you're doing and how can you optimize them to increase a little more energy. For example, if I'm folding laundry sitting down, I could be folding laundry standing up and then putting it away right after. So
yes, give us your best examples of ways to incorporate NEAT.
Well, NEAT, I think that we've talked a little bit about the sedentary lifestyle and how it is a disease state if you are not taking it head on. It's a disease state if you just sit for 8 hours a day. Yeah. So I have clients all the time that I do one-on-one consults and they're like, but Jenny, I work, behind a desk. So I had one client.
And now we work behind a desk from our home.
Yeah.
So we don't even have to walk to our car or walk from a parking lot. All of our virtual work at a desk all day. So little movement required to get through our day.
Very little movement. So I had one, I said, go get a exercise ball, like a physio ball. I said, sit on it, not all day long because some people's core can't handle that. I said, but for maybe 10 minutes out of the hour, sit on that. And I said, all of a sudden, your body's going to have to be using its core to balance it and sit upright. And you just used another 3 to 4 calories in that 10 minutes that you wouldn't have used otherwise.
And built some muscles.
And built muscle. Yeah, built some core strength. My very favorite. And I started a hashtag that has not gone viral. So we're making it viral. But every time I am at a building, especially when I was in medical sales, how many buildings have stairs and elevators at the same time? So one of the times the light bulb went off is I was in Lexington, South Carolina, and I was at an internal medicine office. So we're talking about pretty sick patients with diabetes. They've got give me some examples. Some blood pressure issues, all of the metabolic conditions, basically. Waiting room was packed. So I go out, I see my physician that I needed to see that day, and I walk out, and I'm about to walk downstairs. I'm on the second floor. There's this beautiful lobby with these huge, gorgeous, cascading stairs. There was a line
to the elevator.
15 people, not a single wheelchair or walker in that line, waiting for that one floor elevator. And I had a bag on my shoulder and heels on my feet, and I bebopped my way down those stairs and felt like a little bit of an elitist of going, what is going on? Why would some... So there was actually research done, and I'm sorry, I don't know where it was done, but I just heard the stat that said that 98% of people, if there is an elevator or stairs, 98% of the people will take the elevator.
Wow.
Only 2% of people will take stairs. And what they also found in that very same study was 100% of people knew that stairs are more advantageous for you.
Wow.
And still only 2% will take the more advantageous thing because we're so accustomed to comfort and sitting still and things like that. Actually, the Human podcast, I was listening to that and it mentioned that. But I was like, I think that there is something to that. And then I started thinking about perimenopausal women. That's such a buzz. You were talking about trending. Perimenopause.
It's having a moment.
And I love that women are realizing that there's this stage that isn't quite right, and sometimes they go to male doctor, usually a generational older male doctor, no offense to them at all, but sometimes those physicians can look at a younger woman in perimenopause and go, well, your lab's fine, you're good.
Yeah, this too shall pass.
Yeah, it's fine. Go away. But it's nice that we can go, okay, I do think that something's off,
Yeah.
So perimenopause is great to know about those things. But I don't like the women going, oh, I'm in perimenopause, I'm going to gain weight. My life is over as I know it. Instead, let's think about what are some of the changes that are happening just naturally. So I look at... I'm an intuitive person. So when I look at research, I don't hop on bandwagons at all. I actually resist the bandwagon. I'm like, why is that such a buzz thing?
Right.
For example, seed oils, right? It's like, okay, yeah, omega-6s mean this, but just because you do this doesn't mean it's going to, But when you're talking about perimenopause and weight gain, research shows that there's only in the general population, it's like 1.5 to 2 pound increase in weight in the general population. That's not fit people that take care of themselves. General population, which means that there's really not much of a weight gain to worry about. So what are we experiencing when we're like, well, Jenny, I've been doing this fitness the exact same way. I've been eating the exact same way my whole life. And then as soon as I hit 40 or 42, it all went downhill. When I look at the way, and I know I'm an N of one, I'm one person in my study, but when I look at the way that I have lived, I have naturally just slowed down a little bit over the last 5 years. And by that, I mean, I don't run up my stairs 2 at a time anymore when I go up the stairs to my kids' room.
And your kids are older. Like you're not picking up toddlers.
You don't have to go
Thank
up
you.
there. You don't have to carry kids.
That's a great point. Sometimes our jobs change and we don't reflect on, oh, I did move a lot more in my job then, didn't I? Oh, I forgot that during the pandemic, my husband and I started drinking 2 glasses of wine every night. These little things that add up, we forget and we just go, but I'm still eating the same and I'm still doing the same fitness. So when you're talking about NEAT, that's one of the things that it can fade and decrease so subtly over time that we don't even realize it's going away. So then when you hit these later stages of life, you start blaming metabolism and your cortisol and things like that. So I think that this is a really great topic because it's so easy for people to look at their life and evaluate, not I can't go to the gym anymore or I can't eat any less. I think that's the biggest thing. I'm already eating 1,600 calories. I can't eat less, and nor should you, but maybe there's some places that you can burn another 200 calories in the day and it isn't adding anything really to your day overall, just more mindfulness.
Yeah.
So this is the taking the stairs, of which I personally hate elevators. I'm not afraid of them. I just like taking the stairs. And I start feeling like I'm like being a little bit of a wimp by like, I can take the stairs. I should embrace that. I want to take the stairs. So taking the stairs is one of my favorites too. You mentioned when we were talking in a prior podcast about doing squats, stand up every hour and do 10 squats. And what a great way to keep your legs strong, but also get some blood moving. What are some other ideas that people could incorporate?
One of my favorites is a walking pad. So the walking pad company makes one that is foldable, so you can actually put it away if you needed to. But some of my clients have reported a huge increase in caloric burn during the day and getting that valuable daily walk while they're on conference calls. So what they do is they put a walking pad near their desk or under their desk. And one of my clients, Erica down in Texas, she goes, you know what I do? I turn it on and I get on it. She goes, sometimes I even put on a 5 or 10 pound weighted vest and I start walking. She goes, sometimes it lasts all of 30 seconds because I just can't concentrate while I'm on it and I stop. She goes, other days I'm on it for 30 minutes. I didn't even realize I was on it for 30 minutes. She said, so it's one of those things that it's better to do it than not to do it.
So it's sort of like a movement and you just walk on it?
It's a treadmill.
Okay.
Without like all the stuff around it.
So it doesn't take up much space and you just get on and walk.
You can't really run on it, but you can walk at a really good pace. Yeah, it's fabulous. And they're relatively cheap. So you could ask your spouse for that for Christmas, and it's like $400.
I've told some patients about there's one that you can put underneath your desk that's like the little bicycle mission.
And a lot of my geriatrics will use that. I'll tell them to put it at their couch, and when they're watching a show on every commercial, I want them to pedal.
Yep.
And it's just
and those are like
keep moving.
I think the last time I saw it on the Amazon was like $100.
And they had them at Walmart at one point too, so not hard to find.
Like that. I mean, the other day I was driving, there was a really good looking 30 plus woman in the convertible next to me getting it in her car. She had her jam on and she was dancing, and I was like, she's getting her neat burn. I was not mad about it at all.
I love it.
As long as you don't wreck, you're good.
Right. Do it at the stop sign.
Little car dancing,
standing desk can become quite popular, and that's another way to just do everything you're doing. Just elevate your desk, and many times there's inexpensive versions of those that you can
fabulous,
just put your computer on that.
How do you feel about weighted vests? You mentioned it, and those are kind of buzzy right now.
It's another burn, it adds a little. So one thing that I don't want people to do is go, oh, well, this is my resistance training.
Yeah.
It does not replace resistance training, but it can help you with your structural strength, your core strength. And
there's a little bit of research with osteoporosis and bone density in weighted vests.
And it can increase your knee burn. I mean, it's amazing. Another thing that people don't think about is sit on the floor when you watch a show, because just having to move and adjust or stand up off the floor, a lot of us, we don't value these things. How easy it is to sit in a chair and stand up, that takes no effort.
This is what I tell my 65-year-olds is I need you to get on the floor and get back up about 10 times. And then when you can do it, feel all proud of yourself, and do that every single year through 100 years old so that you never get on the floor and can't get back up. Yeah. And it's get on the floor and get back up. Get on the floor and get back up.
One of my mobility exercises. So in my training app, SALT training, we do mobility. And when I'm like, all right, guys, it's time to sit down and stand up. And I'm like, sit all the way down on your butt, stand up and try not to use your hands. And I know it sounds so stupid.
It's not, though. It's part of our physical therapist here does an evaluation for strength, stamina, stability. Holly?
Yeah, I know Holly,
Yes, and one of the things that she has us do is, you just don't use your hands. And we were like, I can do this. And then we were like, can I do this? Yeah, it's important.
It's so cool. Yeah. It's so cool. I think there's actually Holly might be the one that taught me this. There's like a thing where you can start at 10, and every time your hand touches either the floor or something to help you get up, or your knee, it takes a point off. So you want to see how close to 10 you can keep it.
And just
so if you're working on that, so if you're an older patient or a younger patient with some kind of a disability and you're working on that, try that.
That's fine.
Work up to it.
What else do you have for neat ideas?
I don't know. I feel like when I'm drying my hair, I'm sweating anyway, so I might as well just do some squats. But you were talking about like getting up and squat. Like I'm like, for women, doing hair and makeup, if you're doing that when you're in a bathroom, that would be easy.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was just trying to think of my own day. Like what does my morning look like?
I do full body squats. Some people call them Asian squats because in the Asian culture, they'll squat down to do things on the floor and stuff like that, where you are literally flat-footed, but you squat all the way down.
So where like your butt almost touches the ground.
Yeah, you're in a very deep squat. So sometimes I will brush my teeth while I sit.
Like I was trying to think about like what would neat look like in my day.
Right.
Like it would be like me getting up and like showering, and if I'm going to do hair, makeup, the whole thing, like that's in my bathroom. I could probably do some stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not know if this falls underneath as far as thermogenesis, but I think you can also incorporate balance into these types of things. So you could, while brushing your teeth, stand on one foot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, alternate and work on balance things. Close your eyes
stretching.
on one foot.
Sometimes people are like, I can't take a rest day because it's not ingrained in me. I'm like, well, don't take a rest day. Just watch TV while you stretch.
Yeah.
And you're still recovering. You're still in that recovery mode, but you're doing something.
Yeah.
So if you're one of those people that have a hard time turning it off with the fitness thing, take a day of just stretching and things like that. But doing chores, doing yard work, all of that stuff. If you can get a lawnmower that's not an automatic push that you have to push it, you're adding neat to it.
Well, I was thinking like when I get here, I park, like could I park further to walk more, just little things like walking further.
Yeah, absolutely. Or when you go to the grocery store or Walmart and you just choose to park far away, choose to take the stairs, choose to
a lot of people are going to
poo-poo
poo-poo this and go, well, okay, if I do that once a week, what did I do? Burn another 1 calorie? Maybe, but you're forgetting the big picture is like all of this stuff. When you're more mindful about it, it just adds and builds and builds and builds.
That's what I'll say. It just creates mindfulness.
And I think I was mentioning this earlier. You have tall, lanky men who in college they were 170 pounds and just so thin, and then they end up getting a little bit bigger as they age, but they're still lanky. And you're like, man, that guy's metabolism must be crazy. But I bet you if you sat there and just watched that person all day, what they did, they never stop moving. They just move and move. And by move, I mean like tap their foot while they're, like shake their hand or whatever, move their eyebrows. They are moving a tiny bit. And that stuff can generate up to 1,500 calorie per day, just knee energy that person is expending. So when you look at that versus somebody who is sedentary all day, doesn't go for a walk, sits down and watches TV, does minimal chores, orders DoorDash for their food, so they didn't even get up to cook. Yeah. That person is burning 300-400 calories a day. Like look at the disparity there. And it will point to.
Generationally, we had, I have a great uncle who died at 98 and super healthy his whole life. He worked in a factory making tires, and he walked 2 miles to get to the factory, and then he walked 2 miles home, and that was his entire life. And then he would walk down to the lake to fish when he was in retirement. He walked everywhere. That was his normal. That was his mode of transportation. That's not really what we have in our desk jobs. We've gotten rid of so much of that.
I'm going to talk about that real quick. This is kind of a soapbox thing, and I feel a little bit like a naysayer or whatever when it comes to this. But sometimes it breaks my heart when I start seeing all the kids in our neighborhood who they are so blessed for their parents to be able to afford these things, but the electric bikes and the electric scooters and hoverboards, where they aren't using their body mechanics to get them from point A to point B. Yeah. And I've had friends, why don't y'all have a golf cart? This is a golf cart community. I'm like, because I have legs and we can walk.
And my kids ride their bikes places and they get there that way.
Yeah, during the pandemic, my husband and I learned how to skateboard. So now we skateboard everywhere.
Oh, how fun.
It's fun. But so when you are thinking about getting your child an e-bike or, I get it, especially if they have to commute 5 miles to school or something like that. I totally get that. But if it's just to pal around in their neighborhood, think about the need that you're taking away from them.
Yeah, have them pedal. Yeah, I agree.
We went on vacation this summer. We went to Banff, Canada.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's absolutely stunning. Yeah. And we were able to do we did a lot of hiking. And I'm just so thankful because that I have the ability to be able to do that, because
see that world.
Yes. We did a hike. The mountain is called Haling. And I mean, it was like elevation. We were dying by the time we got to the top of it because it was just so straight. Honestly, it was worse coming down because of our knees than it was going up.
I'm a hiker.
Yes, coming down, whatever the down elevation is called. I don't even know. We were like, oh my goodness, our knees. But just the beauty of being able to do something like that.
Yeah.
And not that I'm like a super athlete by any stretch of the imagination, but like I'm sure there are people that couldn't do that are my age.
If you're not taking the stairs, you're not going to hike a mountain. If you're that person in line to the elevator is going to lose that ability without realizing they lost it.
And so like some of those things, like you said, they just compound. They become more of a motivator for you. Yeah. And then you are able to do things like hike a mountain with your kids eventually. And it might not start there. It might start with you just doing squats while you're drying your hair. Yeah. But then that motivates you to become a little bit more in tune to fitness and then all the other things that
there's a mind-body connection and it starts with those normal daily habits. So if you are somebody in your 60s, 70s and your kids start going, oh, mom, you don't need to do so much. Your body can't handle it. Fight against them and go, no, I need to keep challenging myself. I need to go outside and garden.
Well, your kids play sports. My kids play sports. Like, have you ever tried to get to a baseball field or a football field? Like for an older parent, you know, like my parents are in their 60s. Like you have to, you have to park, right? And you have to walk, you know, to get to wherever the field.
So if you're not electing to do that, there will come a day, you know, if you don't choose to park far away, there will come a day where you have to park far away and then you stop going to things because it's too hard to do it.
Yes. Yeah.
And you don't want that.
Well, and speaking of the ballpark, so my kids they are in football and they do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So both of those practices are 2 hours each depending on the day. So if I haven't trained that day, I might not do a workout, but you know what I do is because it's a beautiful jiu-jitsu gym. It's, you know, this sitting on the ground is very clean. So I sit on the ground for 2 hours. And do I just sit there? No. I start stretching. I start kind of moving around a little bit. I'll change positions. I'll get up and I'll walk and see these people. I'll go outside. I told you I'll go outside sometimes and just walk or do sprints. So I'm there to support my kids. But I'm also the nutty mom over there moving. Yeah. But guess what? I'm also getting a little bit of extra burn. The other part of it is during football, I am the social media manager for my kids' football team. Oh, bless so it. Thankfully, I have a reason to go from team to team to team to video. So for 2 hours straight, I'm just following these kids around. So I'm burning probably another 300 calories just being out there. But if you're not a social media mom, guess what you do? You can walk the perimeter of that field and you still have eyes on your kid.
Watch them the whole time while you're moving. Like walk up and down the field. And,
yeah, absolutely. There is such an opportunity, especially at kids' practices, where I'm like, you have the ability.
Yeah, you just have to open your eyes
to burn 600 calories just walking right now if you wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And just so really just looking for opportunities to get up, looking for opportunities to move, to take the stairs. What was your hashtag that we're going to make go viral?
Oh, hashtag I'll take the stairs.
Okay. I love it.
That's a good
hashtag
one.
I'll take the stairs. That's
I'll take
perfect.
the stairs. And it's just you showing yourself walking up some stairs. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. So we're going to all go hashtag I'll take the stairs.
That's right. That is contagious, by the way. So my kids, again, they're 8 and 11, almost 9 and 11. And they're, we were at a hotel the other week and there was an elevator that they knew took a while. We were on the 5th floor. My kids were like, we're just going to take the stairs. And I was like, let's do it. So we started just taking the stairs 5 flights every time. And my kids are just like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you start kind of building that into your kids or your family or whatever, like the elevator is great, but it's an option. Stairs are an option too.
And let's save it for the people who need it. And we can take the stairs. Let's take the stairs. But it also just reminds us the importance of movement and that it feels good. And sometimes you go, oh, it's the 5th floor. Can we do it? And then you go, we can't do it. We did it.
That's right.
And it feels good.
That's right.
So neat. It is a whole new way to just find opportunities to move a little bit more. We are in a very sedentary society. There are lots of opportunities to be still. Yeah. Let's create some opportunities to move. I love it.
Exercise. That's right.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us. And please look for an opportunity to take the stairs. Hashtag I'll take the stairs.
We like to leave you on a good note. Today's Tell Me Something Good is old songs. Music has muscle memory, and I'm sure there's something very scientific to back this up, but it's pretty amazing to me that I can remember lyrics from like 1990s rap, and I can't remember like where I put my keys. And so I love old music. I will sometimes just turn it up, blare it. I tell my kids they don't know nothing about good music compared to what they're listening to today. I have a playlist for my kids that they have to I tell them that they have to learn before they actually leave the house, which my son is going to soon be a senior, so I need to make sure that's checked off. But just old music that makes you feel good, that you know the lyrics to. It involves some sort of memory or really good time in your life. So I say old songs, good music is something good. Thanks for joining us today, and until next time, take care of yourself.